What's up, YouTube? Bay Area Baller back again. What an exciting weekend. NFL Championship weekend. And you know the Niners are in it. I'm joined by my boy Los. Los, how you feeling today?
Good, man. It's Friday night, 48 hours before kickoff, a little less than 48 hours. Just, these big games, man, when that countdown starts to get within 24, 48 hours, man, the itch is there. It's just like, damn, can we kick this off already?
That's why I had to go live. I was like, man, I just want to talk about the game. The anticipation is high. You see the rundown. We're going to do a lot of Niners, Lions, maybe sprinkle in some Warriors and some Team USA basketball. Maybe that'll be later, but it's the NFC Championship. I want to pick your brain about, Los, and the left. I want to start off with the left guard for the Lions. He's out, right? Suffered an injury against the Bucks last week. So the guy coming in is an undrafted player out of the 2021 draft. His name's Coyote Ewusika. And I didn't know a ton about Coyote. I have looked at the PFF numbers. PFF, is what it is, but the pass blocking grade is extremely low. Let me pull it up here because he's a 46.7 in pass block. And I said, you know what? Before this show, let me put on the tape of last week. So I just saw, I rewatched Lions Bucks, just the Lions offense. And I was really honed in on that left guard. And what I saw, he was getting pushed around by not only Vita Vea. Vita Vea is a beast. So yeah, he's going to move some bodies, but 94, 92, there were multiple guys moving this replacement at left guard. So, Los, I'm licking my chops, and I just tweeted this out. I think this is going to be a big Javon Hargrave game because Hargrave has that big-time bull rush. Like, I think that's his biggest weapon is his bull rush. And from what I saw, this left guard that's filling in, 74, he has trouble anchoring.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting Hargrave in Jared Goff's lap all game long.
And the pass rush has got to come preferably up the middle. That's what bothers Goff the most is when you get that push up the middle and he has to move a little because he's not comfortable moving. So Hargrave is a guy that he's always been a really good pass rusher. He's been a little up and down this year, but you're right, man. This is the time to eat. You're not facing an all-pro. You're not even facing somebody that on paper is average. You need to dominate against this guy, man. You have to.
That's what we need. What we need. And sticking along the lines of the D line, I don't know if you saw, I felt like Bosa has been taking some heat, maybe by fans, maybe some of the media kind of poking at Bosa. We know he's got the big contract.
Right.
The sacks haven't been there. But man, I watched that game last week. I thought he had a tremendous impact. Like saw that spin move off the right tackle. It was an instant pressure. Jordan Love just ended up getting the ball out just in the nick of time. But there were numerous plays where I could see Nick Bosa making his impact felt, making things more difficult for the quarterback. And I don't know. I feel like he's taking some unnecessary flack. That being said, this week, I want that game-changing play. Give me that strip sack. But I think he's due. That being said, I think he's been playing some really good ball. How do you feel about Bosa and just his playoff performance?
Guys like me and you, we can't just watch the game once. Like we're gonna go back almost like coaches and film study, and it's just what we enjoy doing. We want to watch it back regular. We want to watch it back all 22. We want to focus on things and see why things were done the way they are. So yeah, Bosa of course has the big contract. He held out, so he's got all these things, putting more pressure on him to obviously perform. And when people don't see sacks, they think he's not doing well. Well, you got to play the run, which he does well.
But he blew up some runs, Los. I saw him shoot some gaps. He blew up a couple on Jones.
Yeah, he sure did. He's probably on the D line my least concern. Chase Young is the one that probably needs to step up a little bit more. Kinlaw on the other side, Gibbons. Bosa's going to do what he needs to do. That whole, the defensive line is similar to the offensive line, is that they have to work as a unit. I would like to see Wilkes do a few more stunts and not just kind of go vanilla and just having them, beat people. Armstead, I think, is going to be better. Yeah, rub that belly, bro. Rub it a couple of times. I mean, cover my face and everything. It's all good,
man. Hey, man, Armstead, we need you out there because that center's banged up too. So really, Armstead, Hargrave, we need both of those guys to step up here and take us to the Super Bowl.
E, what do you think about the idea? Kind of thought about this. I don't know if it's kind of like really out there, but what do you think about a few snaps Bosa at tackle, direct line to the quarterback? You think he's too small to play D tackle?
No. In pass rushing situations, I'm fine with it. Sprinkling it in. I don't know if
not every down.
No, maybe here and there, maybe 3 to 5 snaps if you want to work them inside, and absolutely, then you can stunt them. So it just gives a different look. I'd be open to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because him and Hargrave are our best pass rushers, bottom line, and Detroit's strength is their tackles. So if you put our 2 best defensive linemen, our 2 best pass rushers inside where Goff gets disrupted more, that may not be a bad thing. Again, it's not every play. We don't want 320-pound linemen leaning on him, wear him down by the 4th quarter. But, like 3rd and 8, 3rd and 11, why not?
Yeah, I'm with it. And, rewatching this Lions-Bucks game, Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator, he's going to be getting a head coaching job here pretty soon. But one thing that this defense needs to lock in on, because I saw it multiple times, especially on Amon-Ra's touchdown pass, where he uses these rub routes, Los. They're using these rub routes, or they'll put Gibbs into the flat and have a tight end kind of rub off on the linebacker who's supposed to get out to the flat. So it's like the Niners need to hone in on some of the details that Ben Johnson has. This is a really good offensive mind. Jahmyr Gibbs, Los. That's, if you're going to ask me, what Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, those 2 dudes are awesome, but Gibbs is just so dynamic.
Laporta's a matchup nightmare.
I'm a big Laporta guy, Los, but
I wanted him in the draft.
I love Laporta. My pre-draft comp for Laporta was another Iowa tight end, Dallas Clark. Yeah. And I feel like that's kind of playing out. I feel like I'm looking pretty good with that comp because it was lofty, but Laporta's even exceeded my expectations, and I had high expectations. That being said, Los, I do not want to let Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs beat me. So I will. If you're going to beat me with Laporta, which I know he hyperextended that knee, it doesn't appear that he's hobbled by that injury, but I can live with, just one-on-one or letting Laporta beat me as opposed to Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs. I cannot let those 2 beat me.
Those guys are more explosive. They're going to give you the big plays. Laporta will give you the smaller move the chains play. So I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No doubt. What matchup? I have a matchup that I'm also monitoring, but what matchup? I talked about kind of Hargrave against the left guard. I think Hargrave's going to dominate. I'm saying at least 1 sack for Javon, maybe 2 sacks for Javon Hargrave. But what matchup are you looking at, offense, defense, either way, where you're like, hey, someone needs to step up here?
Colton McKivitz, man.
That's the one.
That is their best pass rusher, maybe their best defender by far. And he's not going to go up against Trent. He's going to go up against McKivitz. And to McKivitz's credit, he's actually played pretty decently this year. I don't think he's fallen off much from McGlinchey.
That's the thing. See, that's the thing.
He's giving us the same production McGlinchey is for like $2 million instead of $18 million. That's a win.
I know it is, but McKivitz.
I know what you're going to say.
He's clearly the weak link on the offensive line.
No
He gets pushed around. I saw it last week. I think he struggled last week from what I saw. He was getting pushed around. So now you're right. Aiden Hutchinson's coming in, top pick of the draft, supremely talented out of Michigan. He's got all sorts of moves. I am worried about that. So do you think Kittle might stay in line a bit more?
Yeah, or Warner might come in and chip him a little bit. I don't like to see Kittle because he's so dynamic catching the ball, and we need another
Yeah.
threat out there. So bring in your number 2 tight end, because they're not going to bring in our boy Braden Willis, who hopefully next year will be doing some things. But bring in Charlie Warner, let him do what he does best, which is block, and let him help out on McKivitz if he needs it. I mean, I'm sure they'll let him play a few, downs in a few series and kind of feel it out. And if he's handling them, then fine. But I don't know if he can handle them. Hutchinson's really good. And, Detroit also blitzes quite a bit. So they're going to bring heat from all over the place. And Purdy's got to be ready to beat it, which Purdy's actually good against the blitz.
That is a great point, Los, because all game long, Detroit's defense, I mean, not all game, but for a large majority, they were blitzing that nickel. And sometimes it was Branch. Sometimes it was, it was a corner, but they were constantly bringing that heat off the edge. And like you said, this Niners offense, Kyle's usually got a couple hot reads in there. Brock, I do feel like that's a strength of Brock, diagnosing the blitzer and getting the ball out quick.
It's going to be interesting to see what the game plan is. Me and you talk a lot about the coaching, and I think these teams, the Niners have the edge in talent, but if Detroit comes in with a better game plan, it's going to even it up a little bit. So I'm very interested, because last week, again, on paper, it seemed like the thing to do was run against Green Bay, and they threw. This week, it seems like on paper, again, Detroit is susceptible against the pass. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think me and you want the same thing. Most Niner fans want the same thing. We want balance. We don't want too much of one and too much of another. We want balance. We want to be able to establish the run. That's our identity. And then hit them with that play action. And move the pocket, please, Shanahan. Like Purdy was just standing back there like as a target. He wasn't moving his feet like he usually does, except for that one little scramble, which I wish he would do more often when players are covered. I'd like to see him, because he's not Jimmy. He has a little bit of mobility.
He's got some juice.
He's got some juice. And I know if you go back and watch the L-22, there was times when there was a seam and it was third down. Just take it, slide, get the first down. It's too important of a game to that throw to Ayuk, man. I mean, I don't know how he completed that, but what a throw, what a catch. He could have.
How about the one to Juwan?
Yeah. Oh, one of the sickest throws I've seen in my life.
This much over Keyshawn Nixon's hand?
Yeah. So the game plan is going to be interesting. My whole thing is Shanny, when he's feeling it, when he's calling a game like he did against Dallas, when he against Philly, the Niners are unbeatable when he coaches like that. When he does not care, when he's running misdirection, jet sweeps, moving the pocket, maybe even a running back. Don't be surprised if McCaffrey throws a touchdown Sunday. I could see them taking advantage of Detroit's aggressiveness. They want to come up and smash that, and the wide receiver is going to get right behind them. I think that's there if they want it.
Los, can I piggyback?
Yeah.
Can I piggyback off that? Because I love that kind of mixing in a McCaffrey. If they get over aggressive, pop one over the head. I have another one similarly how I think they could get a chunk play off this aggressive Lions defense. And actually, the Packers did it to us. And it's that fake screen wheel. It's that fake screen wheel where you fake the quick pass to the wide receiver, the corner, and the safety kind of bite. And it's a fake, and someone's running up the sideline. That's how the Packers got a huge momentum shifting play off that fake screen. I like that. Maybe a McCaffrey throw or a fake screen wheel.
Anything to take their aggressiveness and use it against them, because this is a young team. They're 7-point underdogs. They want to come in and prove that they can hang with the big boys, so they're going to be hyphy. And that's when you hit them with misdirection and plays like that. I'll give you even one better. like Mr. CJ Gardner's been talking all year that he's going to smash Debo. If they run a jet sweep and they run it left to right, so Debo's right-handed, obviously, and Debo's running it, Gardner's going to come up. Oh, I'm going to kill this fool. Whoop! Ayuk and Jennings are going to get right behind him, easy touchdown, and Debo will just look at him and go, "Sucker." That's all day,
Love
bro.
it.
That's
Love
all I
it.
think, man. You got to be aggressive like that.
Love it. No doubt. No doubt. I'm looking at the Lions kind of depth chart here, and I'm reminded, man, Jamison Williams. I loved him coming out of Alabama. It sounds like, I don't know if obviously coming off the injury, but it's kind of progressed slowly. But that being said, Ambry Thomas, we saw what happened last week. What's your concern level with Ambry Thomas and the Lions attacking him? Because, let's be honest. Between the cornerbacks, out of this 49ers secondary, Ambry appears to be the weak link right now, right? So how much do you fear the Lions attacking him? And is it Josh Reynolds, Jamison Williams?
They're going to attack him, and they're going to attack him with Williams because Williams is a speed guy. Ambry Thomas has a bad habit of, if he's even beaten a little, he starts grabbing.
Yeah.
That's what he did last week. Like the first time, I guess it was good because it probably saved a touchdown. They ended up kicking a field goal, so maybe it wasn't the worst thing in the world. But you don't want to be getting a reputation where every time you're beat a little bit, you're always grabbing. So I think it's going to be Williams because Williams is fast. And yeah, they're going to go after Ambry. I was thinking, well, what options do the Niners have? Could they move Lenore back out to the outside? I love Sam Womack. I don't know why he can't get on the field. He's healthy, but they're probably not going to go that route. Isaiah Oliver didn't work out in the slot, so they don't have a lot of options. It's going to have to be, Luter is a young guy, all the talent in the world, but he's probably not high on their
Kyle ain't going to Luter right now, Los.
I know. Kyle don't go to young people, man. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
It is. So, yeah, the only option I would have thought would be move Lenore back outside and move Womack, who is a second-year guy, but he's 4'3". He's damn good, but I don't know. So I think we're stuck with Ambry. He's got to do his job.
We haven't seen Womack this year. Sounds like me and you both like Womack, but it's hard to trust a guy when we haven't seen him, other than maybe a little bit on special teams.
And that brings up another point about youth versus experience. And this one, I think me and you are on the same page as well, is Jair Brown's got to start over Logan Ryan, man. He's got to. Logan Ryan, I know you saw the film, and it wasn't just the 53-yarder that Aaron Jones, the truth. That is the truth, brother. Logan Ryan did not look good on a lot of running plays, not just that big 53-yard one. He's got to bring a physicality from the strong safety position, and Jair Brown does that. And Jair Brown is faster. So I will take the physically more talented player over the experience, so to speak, because that experience didn't show out that well that last week.
Hey, shout out to everyone in the chat. The chat is live. Do me a favor, hit that like. Then we're going to get some more people. Let's get this stuff popping. It's Friday night, championship weekend. Hey, we're feeling great. Buco Sports says, don't cry when Jennings leaves. This is real. This is real. Remember, Jawan Jennings, he hasn't cashed out. He's been playing on these marginal kind of bare minimum contracts, and he's going to be an upcoming free agent. So as much as I love Jawan and I want to retain him, it might be kind of like that Kendrick Bourne situation where, the Patriots, I thought when Kendrick Bourne got signed, I was like, damn, I wasn't expecting him to get paid that much. But I think there might be something similar going on with Jawan. Hopefully he goes nowhere. That being said, Los, for this game coming up on Sunday, he's ours. He's a Niner. So shout out to Jawan. Love the people throw around the dog term, I feel like a little too freely, but Jawan Jennings, he's a dog.
Monster on the run game. Monster. What he does blocking, nobody really sees except those guys that always watch the games 3, 4, 5, 6 times. But he is a complete dog. You saw it. He blocked a guy into the Gatorade and kept going. He's very underrated, and glad he's on our team because that's the physicality that the Niner identity has, and he's a big part of that on the offense.
No doubt. No doubt. Let's see. Okay, I'm looking at the Lions defense now. We touched on that, the offense of the Lions, but defensively, Aiden Hutchinson, Aleem McNeil, I think is their second best D lineman.
Agreed.
He's pretty good. He's a good player, but the secondary, that's the weakness of this Lions defense. Looking at it, they got Cameron Sutton on one side, they got Vildor on the other side. Both of them rate poorly in terms of PFF, but just looking at the statistics, the Lions give up a ton of passing yards. So that makes me think, Los, BA. I mean, George Kittle, Debo, but BA. And I was expecting more from BA, especially when Debo went down. I'm thinking, all right, BA is going to get at least 10, 15 targets, right? Let's get him the rock. Now, the weather was a factor, but that kind of goes back to the game plan thing. Maybe it was a Debo game plan and Kyle couldn't pivot off that. And while we're on the game plan, Los, the thing that frustrated me last week, not only is it raining, but to start the game, the opening possession for the Niners, 4 out of the first 5 plays were empty formation. We have the best running back in the NFL, and I know he's a weapon at wide receiver, but when you put him out there and no one else in the backfield, you're telegraphing what you're going to do. You're telling everyone on the defense, everyone watching the game, hey, we're passing it right here. And I really like having that threat of the play action and just not telegraphing it. I didn't like how we opened up in a pass-heavy offense. Not only was it pass-heavy, but there wasn't even a running back threat out there next to Brock Purdy.
You were telling the Packers what you were going to do on a rainy field, and it didn't make any sense whatsoever. It's funny, man, because like Juice makes the Pro Bowl every year. He's not on the field very much anymore, man. I mean, how often he doesn't touch the ball, first of all, and when do we really see him a lot in I formation? Like Juice is a really good player. I know they have other players that are more explosive than him, but I'm telling you, when I watch it, when they play action and Juice goes out to the flat, there is nobody there. It's an easy, free 6 to 10 yards every single time. And all that talk about Purdy being a game manager or check down, no, he's not. He wants to throw it downfield because he could check it down to Juice and McCaffrey almost every play. But Juice should get a little bit more role in the offense because, quite frankly, they're not looking for him. They're looking for Kittle, they're looking for Debo, and they're looking for McCaffrey and Ayuk. And I agree with you, man. I think Ayuk's going to have a big game because, like I said, to use their aggression against them, Ayuk runs a very good, and they don't do it too often, but they run a very good out and up pattern. Like he's going to run a slant, the corner jumps it, and then he goes outside. That's there if they want to do it. I watched Detroit's corners against Green Bay when Green Bay smoked them in the Dome Week 12, and Green Bay used that exact play action, out and ups, and a lot of deep balls.
Like a slant and go?
Yeah,
like you kind of fake the slant and then you go.
You're going to slant, and then the corner's coming up to try to jump it, and then you go outside. So it's thrown towards the sidelines and the hashes. That's there if they want it. Whether the Niners see that or not, I don't know, but I see it. So
absolutely,
all day,
absolutely. All day. And go ahead.
I need to get in the coaches' meetings, man, and just give my suggestions, only to be thrown out the hell out of here. Mortgage guy, you don't know.
Hey, they might. If you got a good one, I think Sharon will hear you out. Hey, let's read a few of these comments because the chat is live. But we appreciate everyone in there. Hit that like, subscribe. Let's see what Danny O says. A lot of 49ers here in Texas. 49er fans all over Texas. Hey, shout out Danny O and Texas.
Texas Longhorns. UT.
Okay. Yeah, Patrick says I could see Juwan going to Houston or somewhere random like the Titans. Well, it wouldn't be that random because Rand Carthon, former Niner, is the GM.
Niners everywhere across the league. You can go to the Jets. You can go to the Texans. You can go to the Titans.
Those guys know what kind of value Juwan brings. So, yeah, Absolutely.
I just hope he
Absolutely.
doesn't go to the Rams, man, because the Rams have two kind of flashy receivers. They don't have that big physical receiver, and I don't know what their salary cap is like, but yeah, I don't want to see him in the division.
No doubt. Shout out, Load the Truth. We're going to
Yep,
need to help McKivitz going against Hutchinson. Yeah, I agree with that.
definitely discuss that.
Yeah, Luis is feeling what you're putting down. Juszczyk is dependable AF. We got to use him more because he's so good as a route runner. Like he's a nifty route runner,
Really is,
almost like a tight end. Like
and
I
he's got
agree.
great hands. He doesn't drop many balls.
Although
Uh,
short yardage is kind of
Yeah, for a fullback, like, yeah, I mean, what did they go to against the Rams in the NFC Championship on 32?
that
Fullback
was
dive.
terrible.
Yeah,
How
like,
about
please
when they
don't ever do
motion
that
in
again.
Juszczyk to take the snap and then like they do the QB sneak? I hated that. I hated that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Come on.
didn't like that play call at all. And then it was 4th and 1, and they punted. So yeah, we can't have plays like that. I mean, aggressive Shanny is a beautiful thing to watch. Conservative Shanny is tough. So now's not the time, man. Got to get this. Got to get two more.
Hey, straight out of the Bay, my Monday show is watching us right now and said, "What's good, baller and low?" So straight out of the Bay, I think
Appreciate it.
that might. I think that's Jay. I think that's Jay running that. Appreciate that, Jay.
Oh, well, in
Stopping
honor of
by.
Jay, what's good? Can't do it like you, brother. You're the original, man. But I love your guys' show, man.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Okay. Let's see. What else you got on your mind when we're talking about this NFC championship matchup?
Um, I mean, just kind of basically, the Niners are just in such a perfect position this year. Everything is, and they said that about the Cowboys. You got to be careful. It's like everything is lined up. You got to be careful about saying that, because then you just think you're just going to go out there and show up and do it. They have to be aggressive from the start. They have got to pressure Goff up the middle. They have got to take advantage of Detroit's aggressiveness on their side. They're the experienced team. I think getting off to a good start is huge. And me and you have talked about this before, and I know Shanahan will never do it, but against the young team, and I think you like lapping the Shanahan theory of deferring, taking the ball,
I
and
do.
scoring twice. But here's the problem with that. If that's your philosophy, to score before the first half and score again in the second half, then go get a touchdown. Don't settle for a field goal like he did against Green Bay. That drove, I think, all of us crazy. Like, if you really want to double end it the right way, and this is what I didn't like about his response, bro. It was like, he's like, well, we want to score, but we don't want to leave enough time for them to score right, back us. We don't want to leave any time on the clock. It's like, you got to have trust in your defense. You got a pretty damn good defense. So if you score with 30 seconds left and it's a touchdown, have confidence that your defense is going to be able to stop them and go in and double lap them. So that's my whole thing, is if that's going to be your philosophy, you want to score at the end and score again in the third, then don't be conservative. Like, go for the gusto. This is the NFC Championship, and then next is the Super Bowl. No risk it, no biscuit. You have to put the foot to the metal and beat these guys up, because the longer you keep this young team hanging around, if they're hanging around within one score in the third or fourth quarter, their coach is going to do whatever it takes to win. And I mean anything, fake field goal, fake punt, some weird ass shit that he could possibly do. So Niners got to knock this team down early, man. I really think they have to knock them down early.
I agree with you. I do like kicking. I don't know if part of that is just I used to play some competitive Madden, and when you're playing Madden, you always want to kick. That's just, so maybe that has kind of translated into my mind. But my philosophy is win the first half while you kick, win it anyway, and then you're getting the ball to start the second half. I just think it kind of gives you a momentum boost at halftime, getting the rock, and I like to kick, preferably. That's what I would do. So
One more thing on the game. Just get your opinion about this. the Niners don't run a lot of basic running back screens. They run a lot of bubble screens to the wide receiver and maybe a few to the tight end. But the basic fundamental, let the pass rush come in, drop it over the top to McCaffrey or Mitchell, whatever. I prefer McCaffrey. Have blockers out in front. That's a play that has always worked. For as long as I've watched football, 35 plus years, again, taking advantage of an aggressive defense, a running back screen. I don't know if Shanahan has that in his playbook because I quite frankly don't see it very often. Again, they run their screens to the perimeter, but not the one like let everybody come in, drop it off, go. Have you seen it, or am I missing something, or do you not see
No, you're right. No, it's there in sprinkles, but some of these teams feel like they run 2, 3, 4. Like you look at the Saints and Alvin Kamara, it feels like every drive he's catching a running back screen. And McCaffrey, while we know he catches a lot of balls, they're not in the screen capacity. He's running out, he's running option routes or Texas routes or swing routes or into the flat. They're not designing blockers to get out in front of them. So, no, I agree with you.
On the defensive side, question. Oren Burks looks like he's going to be iffy to play.
Yeah.
If you're not going to go with the third linebacker, because, I can't see Flanagan, Foles going out there or one of the rookies going out there. So is that extra defender?
You don't like DFF?
What's that?
You don't like DFF?
Not really. He's all right.
Okay.
So let's say
I think he's decent. I think he's solid. So much of the game is in nickel nowadays.
So
you're not playing it. Go ahead.
Right. I'm sorry. I was going to say, if they don't go a third linebacker, if they just use, Warner Greenlaw, is that extra player a fifth defensive lineman possibly to help shut down that run? Or do you just go fifth defensive back? Which way would you go? And of course you could do both. I'm not saying one or the other, but to start off the game, because I've seen the Niners a few times run 5 defensive linemen, and it does help against the run, and that's what the Lions really want to do. So if you have Kinlaw and Givens and Armstead or Hargrave, you have 3 tackles, and then you have 2 edges. Now the offensive linemen have to play everybody one-on-one. There's no chipping. There's no double teaming. It's one-on-one. I think the Niners can win that matchup, but again,
that's Los. That is a galaxy brain idea because we have seen some 5-man fronts. Not a ton, but they have done it throughout the year, where if they wanted to utilize it in a game like this, where you're going up against an electric back like Jameer Gibbs, the 5-man front, I think that's a really good idea, Los. And I would not be surprised if they did go to that. Because while they didn't do it a ton this year, there were definitely 2 or 3 games where they ran it like pretty consistently throughout that game, or they mixed it in. So I love that idea of mixing in a 5-man front, especially to help. What happened last week against the Packers? Niners had a problem, setting the edge, right? Yep. And that 5-man front, everyone's out a little bit wider. That would help set the edge. So, Los, I think that's a great point.
It's definitely an option.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it.
Yeah, I'd love to see Wilkes be creative. It's funny. Wilkes and we talked about this in the preseason, that Wilkes has a reputation of kind of bringing, red dogs and bringing a little bit of blitzes. And we're kind of like, I kind of want to see that. Ever since Bosa made that comment of like, hey man, we rush 4 here and play zone. He's kind of backed off that a little bit. And I'm all for that. I would prefer to rush 4, but my thing is that if 4 is not getting there, don't keep doing it if it's not working. You have to mix things up. So we will see, man. Like I said, game planning and coaching is huge in this game. Huge.
No doubt. Let's glance through this comment section, and then I want to talk a little Warriors. We'll see how the audience feels about the Warriors. I got some thoughts, and I know the trade deadline's coming up, so we'll mix in some Warriors after we run through these chats. Everyone, hey, get your comments in. Me and Los, we're pulling up comments, dialoguing, so drop those in the chat. Low the Truth said, Baller and Los, we got to stop the run game. Gibbs is a young stud. That's true. We see what Aaron Jones was running freely last game, and it was those tosses to the outside. Like we said, Niners were having trouble setting the edge. Packers wide receivers were cracking down, and it is discouraging when you see Chase Young, and it wasn't only Chase Young. It happened to Nick Bosa once too, where these guys they get kind of honed in looking at the point, the quarterback's point of the ball to see where's the ball going. Is it a run? Is it? And they can be susceptible to wide receivers cracking down. It happened to Chase. It happened to Bosa. They got to clean that up. That's one place where we definitely miss Cleveland Farrell, because Cleveland Farrell was
very
awesome
underrated
at setting the edge. Like, he was doing that consistently. So
2nd and 6 is a whole big difference from 2nd and 9 and 2nd from 10, especially with a quarterback like Goff. So yeah, that first down, they're going to run the ball, and boy, the Packers every first down they got a minimum of 4 yards. I think I saw Bosa's stuff at one time, but they were 4, 5, 6 yards, and that can't happen. So the five-man line is an option, but our guys just playing better. Sometimes it's not about scheme, it's just play better. Football is about getting off your block and making tackles if you're a defender, and that's what our D-line needs to do a better job of.
Luis says Moody has to be on point also. Field goals and PATs, he's got to be locked in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel about that blocked field goal? Did it look like the trajectory was low?
It was low.
Yeah.
It was low. He corrected it, and really happy that he hit the next one. That was definitely a confidence builder. So I wouldn't say my confidence is like at a 10 with him, but before the Packers game, it was about a 5 or a 6, and I feel a little bit better about him. So I don't think we have to worry about Modi. Let's hope that it doesn't come down to like we're down 2 and we need him to kick. Oh God, talk about everybody's heart in their throat. Oh man. But that said, I got confidence that he'll make his kicks. And how about kick the ball out of the end zone, please, so we don't have any returns, man? You're supposed to have a big leg. Did I actually hear Shanahan say that sometimes we want to kick it short? Why? Start at the 25. That was a huge play in that Packers game. That guy broke it past midfield. So Moody got a big leg. Kick it out of the end zone, start at the 25 every single time. Why mess around with that? I don't know.
Yeah, Keyshawn Nixon, he's an all-pro returner for the Packers. So why would you give a guy like that a chance? That being said, on that play, Charlie Warner on the ground, I believe it was Chris Conley on the ground. Like, you got to stay on your feet when you're covering these kicks. Otherwise, there's going to be an alley for like what happened. Nixon ran by. Next thing you know, it's a game-changing play.
Yeah, no doubt.
Danny O says we might lose a lot of players this year. Greenlaw, Kinlaw, Ayuk, Jennings, Banks, Gibson, some free agents, and some of the Niners aren't signing. We need to release a lot of money. I wouldn't be surprised, Danny, if they restructure some stuff. And what that means is they're pushing it down into future years. Like this is a Super Bowl core. And while you have guys like this, it's not ideal. But I could see them restructuring, pushing some money off. Are all those guys? Is Greenlaw going to be a free agent? I know Kinlaw.
He signed a 2-year deal. I think this is his last year.
Wow.
I thought Banks had another year. Gibson's definitely a free agent.
I thought Banks has another year too.
Ayuk has one more year. He's not a free agent.
Daniel's making a good point. It's not going to be. There's always turnover year over year. Not all these players are going to be back in Niners uniforms. We already speculated about Juwan, which hopefully I'm wrong, and he stays. Joseph, hey, thanks for stopping by, Joseph. Lions O-line is one of the best. Way better than the Packers. Not sure where you see wins there. Maybe left guard. Joseph, that was kind of what I started with, was the left guard filling in. I got his name here. Coyote Awosika. This guy was undrafted. He's not good. He's not good, Joseph. And I'm not just looking at the PFF number. Before this show started, I wanted to rewatch that Lions Bucks game from the point where he went into the game. And I was locked in on this dude, Awusika. He has trouble anchoring. And Javon Hargrave has a dominant bull rush. And I'm expecting Hargrave to dominate that matchup, come up with at least one sack, but I'm thinking probably two.
Yeah, the Lions, their two tackles are dominant. Their center, even though he's banged up, is pretty damn good. Their guards are not all that. So, in a way, the Packers are not a better O line. But what was interesting to me in listening to all the talk this week is the Packers had the second best pass protecting O line in the league. I mean, one of the reasons why the Niners couldn't get home is they had a really good pass blocking line. The Lions, on the other hand, have a great run blocking line, not so much in pass protection. So, again, huge. If the Niners can get them to 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8, as opposed to 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, that's all the difference in the world. Because Goff doesn't throw a ton of balls downfield. He likes to throw that intermediate range, kind of like Purdy, 15 to 20 yards. He loves the dig routes. He loves the curl routes. So huge to be able to get them to and that's why I said to my point earlier, if the Niners can get up on them, 14 to 3, 21 to 7, 21 to 10, kind of eliminates that running game a little bit because they're going to have to start throwing every down. And that's where I think they can get it Goff.
Absolutely. Goff. I mean, we've seen a ton of Goff over the years, it feels like. And he's not the same guy when there's bodies around him. Compress that pocket. Although, Los, I want to do it. I know we talked about the 5-man front, but I want to do it with the 4-man rush.
Preferably.
That's why we pay these guys, right? Like, you got to mix in some blitzes, and Wilkes does, but this 4-man front needs to show up because we need coverage. I don't want to leave Amon-Ra St. Brown one-on-one with Ambry Thomas. And I love Demo. I'm president of the Demo fan club, Los. I was saying,
no pun intended. What a baller, man. No wonder you love him.
Yeah, the dude's a baller. He loves to hit. He's so physical. He's 5'10", but he's like a linebacker out there. He's extremely physical, and it goes back to his college days at Oregon where he was just loved to hit people. So that's in his DNA. We saw the game-changing plays he made last week, just threw Jordan Love out of bounds. Then he blew up a screen, a wide receiver screen, shot into the backfield between the blockers, blew it up. It was just his impact was felt all over that game. That being said, I love Demo. I do not want him one-on-one, a ton without some help, without a safety over the top on Amon-Ra St. Brown, because Amon-Ra St. Brown's dynamic. So what I'm thinking, Los, I know we're predominantly zone, but Wilkes has been mixing in some man, maybe a little more than D'Amico did. I'm thinking like a cover 1 robber, and that robber shade him towards Amon-Ra. That's who I don't want Amon-Ra to beat us. So it's almost like you're doubling him, kind of bracket Amon-Ra, and then have some one-on-ones elsewhere. Like, I can live with, like, if Laporta beats Fred Warner or Dre Greenlaw, I'll tip my cap. But giving Amon-Ra one-on-one matchups all game is might be some trouble.
Similar kind of defense like you play against Dallas. Like, don't let CeeDee Lamb beat you. Don't let St. Brown beat you. Make the 2 and 3 wide receivers beat you. So, 100% agree with that. Like, press him at the line and have somebody like shading him right behind. Don't let St. Brown, have an 8 or 10 catch game for 130, 140 yards. That would not be good.
No doubt. Luis says, we got to be able to adjust on the fly. That's facts. Always.
Spot on, man.
Got to worry about the lack of pass rush. If Goff stays clean, he will slice and dice, have to score 30 to win. Joseph might not be wrong about that. Like, remember when we went to Minnesota and Kirk just diced up this defense? Like, if you're not getting pressure on even Jared Goff, he's a statue out there. Like, he plays in sand. That being said, if you're not pressuring him and he's got a clean pocket, dude, Jared Goff, was he the first or second pick of the draft? He was one of those. He was up there. That it was him and Wentz, right? Anyway, Goff, if he has a clean pocket, he will dice you up. So that's why
He
we've
will.
been
Very accurate.
emphasizing this pass rush needs to get, because when there is bodies around him, as I've said, he's not the same player. You know, the balls are not as accurate, and he will turn it over. This is the Jared Goff that we've seen.
Hey, like Al Davis said, the quarterback must go down and go down early. Hit him early, make him think. Don't let him get comfortable back there because Jordan Love was very comfortable. The rain helped. They talked about Purdy's ineffectiveness, but Love was a little bit all over the place with the rain. There's not going to be no rain Sunday, man. So you got to affect him with some hands in his face. And Kinlaw, get your hands up. You know, Armstead, you're 6'7". That's another thing that I don't know if the D-line coach teaches it. It should be common sense. You're 6'7". If you're not getting there, put your hands up, jump, because Goff throws a lot of those passes over the middle and they're line drives. And if you get your hands up, you can knock some balls down. That's just as good.
Hey, Los, I just remembered something because I was gonna kind of lead with this, but it slipped past me. But we talked about, an itch to just talk ball this time of year. It's a fun
Yeah.
time, NFL championship week. But I'm getting an itch to go to this game, Los. I don't know today. Usually, I usually go to, 2, 3 games a year. So far this year, I went to one. I went to the Cardinals game when Brock Purdy was freaking awesome that game, by the way. I think he had like 1 or 2 incompletions all game. Like that's when he hit like 90 something percent of his throws. So that was the one game I went to, and I'm like, man, because I'm looking at Ticketmaster and I'm like, I can't stand if this ticket goes to a Lions fan. Like, I feel like I got to be there
Oh,
cheering
yeah.
on the squad because whenever I go, Los, I come back the next day, my voice is gone, because I left it all out there on the field. So it's
You have
something
connection. I know you know some people that are gone, right?
yeah, yeah. But
They don't
this
have
is,
an extra
this,
ticket for you, huh? Or they
hey,
have, and you're just not sure if you want to
hey,
go or not.
no, no. If I'm going, I'm a big boy. If I'm going, I'm buying my ticket. I'm buying my
There you
ticket.
go. Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, I didn't mean it as a freebie, but I mean like, hey, Eric got an extra ticket. Here you go. It's going to be what, $600, $700, whatever. Hey, I've been to a few NFC championships. I've been to the NBA finals. I've been to the World Series. I won't go to a Super Bowl because everybody that's told me that's gone to the Super Bowl said it's way overrated. Just the weights are ridiculous. The security is ridiculous. NFC championships are great, man. It is. If you can get a chance to go, you can go. Do it.
yeah, it's today. I don't know. I didn't have this feel until today. I got home from work and I'm like, dude, I think I got to be there. I think I should be there at this game, yelling my freaking butt off because, hey, man, that's what I do. Shanahan talked about it this week. It's a competitive advantage when you're playing at home, and I'm hearing there might be like 20% Lions fans. That is more than I was expecting. Um,
Yeah, that
so
kind of
maybe I got to
surprised.
be there to make up for it. Yeah.
The Lions have been bad for so long that there's some deep pocketed Lion fans, whether they live here in the Bay Area or they live wherever. They're going to pay
They're not living here in the Bay Area. I
probably
mean,
not, but you
I've
never
been here
know.
my whole life, and I never had someone tell me like, "Hey, man, no, I'm a Lions fan."
You didn't see
Like,
no Beverly Hills Cop, Detroit starter jacket, Eddie Murphy with the Detroit Lions.
no,
Hey, I bet you see a lot more Lions paraphernalia around now. How them bandwagoners come out, but no, for the Lions fans that have been fans for years, it's a great story. It's too bad it's going to have to end on Sunday, but it's a great story. So I'm not too surprised that they're going to have 20% of the fans.
hey, shout out to HR. Thanks for stopping by. He said, "What do you think Kuminga's ceiling is?" That's an awesome question. I'm gonna run through the rest of this comment section, and we're gonna talk some dubs and some JK Jonathan Kuminga. So, Joseph, yeah, he was okay. Run blocking, pass pro was sus. Okay, Sewell, is the best right tackle in the league.
Yes, he is.
I'm not going to argue with you there. He's really good. Shout out to Bashar, 49er minded. That's my guy. Thanks for stopping by. He said, Fax Baller, Demo from Snoop's Little League. Okay. Yeah, Snoop's very active, like just in the sports world, especially in SoCal. Like I feel like he's got a basketball team, maybe an AAU squad. Like I know he's just shout out to Snoop, man. He's a big sports guy.
Good deal. Good deal.
Diamador Lenore reminds me of Jimmy Ward a lot. Yeah, there's some similarities, Luis.
Hey man, that's a great call. That's a great
Smaller,
call.
both 5'10", but they're physical. They will hit you. You know, they're sticky in coverage. Yeah, Luis.
Gamers, man. Make big plays in big games.
Demo the Hyena. Yeah, I love that. I do like that nickname. I like that nickname. Our linebackers
locked up for another year or two, right? He's not coming up. Because
what is this? Is this year 3 for him? And he was a late round pick, probably on a 4-year deal. So yeah, I'm gonna say Demo's got one more year off the top of my head after this one. Who would you keep? Ayuk or Greenlaw? Okay, this is a scenario that I already hate your question, Danny. I already hate it off the bat. It's a long one, but just off the first 4 words, I hate it. That being said, Ayuk or Greenlaw, I'm keeping Ayuk. I'm keeping Ayuk. I think this offense needs Ayuk's just ability to win. The dude wins routes. I say Ayuk runs the best in cutting routes in all the NFL. The slants, the post, the glance routes. I'll put him up against Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, all those guys on those in breaking routes. He's just so sudden. His ability to change direction is exceptional. So give me Brandon Ayuk. You know, Fred Warner obviously would still be here. So what linebacker? I know Greenlaw's freaking awesome, but can a D Winters maybe be the next guy, or Jalen Graham, or maybe you get a guy? I think it's easier to replace Dre Greenlaw than it would be to replace Brandon Ayuk. So I'm going Ayuk. Who would you keep if it came down to that?
I'm not gonna lie. Like when I first saw the question, I love defenders and big time defenders. Greenlaw's a dog, man. God, but you made a real good point, and that is the Niners hit on linebackers. They find them like all rounds. Watch out for Mr. Jalen Graham next year. That dude can play, and he got stuck in the we don't play young players unless somebody gets hurt type of thing. Unfortunately, the Niners are big on red shirts and don't play until year 2. But Jalen Graham could play. So, like, my initial response was Greenlaw, because I was thinking Ayuk is dominant, but they can find another wide receiver. Probably not. Not as easy as they find linebackers. So just for that reason, not because I think Ayuk's better than Greenlaw, because I think they're neck and neck. Greenlaw is so important to the defense. And he's right on the same, level as Warner, to be honest. In fact, he's made more plays lately. But yeah, that point you made kind of like made that a little bit of an easier decision. Niners just, I don't know what it is about their scouting department. I hope it's not old boy Adam Peters that just left to Washington. He was finding all these nuggets late, but they find linebackers and they plug them in and they do real well.
No doubt. And Danny said this is Banks' final year. We have a lot of expensive players. 49ers are definitely going to lose some good players. And especially, if you make the Super Bowl, they want to pluck guys off your roster. They want to kind of take some of that talent, some of that juice, and add it to their team. So it's not going to be the same team next year. But that being said, there's still hopefully a couple more games left that the Niners got to take care of business on. Hey, Slavic Niner, thanks for stopping by. So what's happening, boys? Niners.
Bang, bang.
That's right. I don't know if you heard the new song with Pilo. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. Do it for the Bay. It's good. But I was hoping there would be like even more of a banger anthem that would come out. Sometime, 40 will drop something
I'll
or,
say, has
you
40
know,
done anything for the Niners? Because he does a lot of things for the Warriors.
yeah, he did. He dropped the Bang Bang Niner Gang a couple
Yeah.
years ago. That was hot. That was nice.
I mean,
Let me
recently,
know in the
yeah.
chat. How do you feel about this Pilo "Do It for the Bay" song? Like it's for me. I'm saying it's good.
It's growing on me.
It's good.
I'm not gonna lie. When
But
I first heard it, I was like, but the more I hear it,
okay. Like okay,
yeah,
okay.
it's getting there. Let me hear it about another 5 or 10 times, and it'll
I'm
be
gonna
in my
put I'm
head.
gonna put it on. I'm still bumping that stuff in my car. I'm at full blast. Yeah, I'm still doing it.
No
Hey,
doubt.
chat is live. Appreciate all y'all in the chat. Hit that like. You know how it goes. Kyle, hey, shout out to Moon Man. Kyle gonna have to take those outside double moves. They bite on a lot on film.
Yes, that's
Hey,
what I said.
Moon Man, Los just said that. BA on a little slant and go, a little sluggo.
It's there. I'm telling you, it's there. As soon as it hits, man, I'm gonna text you, bro. Whether you're at the
Love
game
it.
or watching
Love
on TV,
it.
I'm gonna be like, they hit it, man. They hit it. And Ayuk's the perfect guy to run that route because he sells that slant so hard, and then he puts that right foot into the turf and then just goes outside. Man, I'm telling you, if Purdy's got time, that's a big gainer right there.
No doubt. No doubt. Okay, let's see.
Lucifer with a savage name.
Lucifer said Bosa.
Got
Hey,
to step
hey,
up.
Lucifer. I think Bosa is showing up and showing out. I thought he was good last week, but no sack is not good enough for this fan base. I think Bosa's gonna get. I think we're gonna get Goff. 3 times. Maybe 2 from Hargrave, 1 Bosa. That's probably my prediction. How many sacks are you forecasting in this game coming up?
You said it perfectly earlier about Bosa played well when you watch the tape again, but there was no game-changing plays. He is the highest paid player in the league defensively. He is arguably with Warner our best defender. He needs a Reggie White moment. He needs an Aaron Donald moment. He needs a Charles Haley moment. I mean, even Alden Smith before he started getting whacked out. Alden Smith could ask Trent Williams, who was the best pass rusher he's ever faced. He doesn't say Bosa. He says Alden Smith. Go watch it. Him and Staley both said it together. Bosa needs that play 27-21 Niners, early fourth quarter, 4th and 3, 4th and 7, whatever. Bosa comes in, spin move, sack. We get the ball, clinch it with a game-winning, a go-ahead, 2-score touchdown lead with that play. That's the kind of play he needs to do. He is capable of doing it, and damn it, he's got to do it. And if you want your name up there with the Reggie Whites and the Charles Haley's and all these dudes, Richard Dent, these dudes made plays in the fourth quarter. So this is your time, brother. Handle it.
I think he will, Los. I think he will.
I
Shout
think he
out to
will too.
Shardall. He said, "Hi, baller. What's up, Shardall?" He said, "Can you send me the link?" Me and Shardall go way back.
Yeah.
Shardall's my guy. Me and Shardall go way back. Shardall, I just sent you the link. So get your audio queued up. Double check that's right, and maybe we'll get you on here for a little bit. Shout out to Shardall. I sent it to your Twitter, by the way. He said, Bolognese Jones.
Bologna Jones.
That's Bologna Jones.
Like the meat.
I think I ate the bolognese just the other day, so I had bolognese on my mind, which is, I mean, top 5 Italian dish, the bolognese. But Bologna Jones said, "One more win and we in the Super Bowl." LFG.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's do this.
Ayuk and Jefferson about best route runners in my opinion.
Man,
Uh,
Jefferson's so good. God, Jefferson. He went like 23rd in the draft. Oh man, yeah, I love Jefferson. When he's healthy, I know as dominant as Tyreek Hill is. I got Jefferson as the best wide receiver in the league.
Los, I'm not proud to admit this, but my 7-year-old, if you ask him who's your favorite player, he'll say Justin Jefferson.
Hey, nothing
And
wrong.
mostly because he plays some. He's 7 years old, but he plays some Fortnite, and they got the gritty on there, and he knows that Justin Jefferson, the gritty is his thing. So he loves the gritty. He loves Justin Jefferson. I made the mistake of showing like a Justin Jefferson like touchdown reel to him, and after all of them, he's doing the gritty. So my 7-year-old, he's got a shirt of Justin Jefferson, and so I don't know. Maybe I screwed up somewhere. He's still a Niners fan, but
Hey, nothing
he
wrong
likes
with
some
that.
Justin Jefferson. Yeah.
Hey, he's like Pops, man. He watches that film and he likes who he likes. So what are you gonna do? Can't hate on that. That's a hell of a pick.
And Baloney Jones dropping some facts on us. Last time Detroit beat the Niners was 1975. Let's get this dub. That guy St. Brown runs nasty routes, and he isn't that fast. Puka pretty good too for a slow guy.
He's not fast like Puka on the 40-yard, but he's quick. He's in and out of his routes, which in a lot of ways is even more dangerous than that 40 straight line speed.
Bosa gets no help. He getting doubled.
Not all the time. Not all the
Not all
time.
the time. Not all the time.
Yeah, he gets chipped.
Sometimes though. Sometimes.
So I guarantee you, if he's going up against Panay Sewell, they're not going to help Sewell. Sewell's a monster. That's going to be 1-on-1.
We probably have the most expensive roster overall in the NFL. Well, every team's got to be under the cap, though, Danny. So I know you can push money down, but for the most part, and we're not paying our quarterback. That's where I think it boosts our roster, right? Because most of these teams are paying 30, 40, 50 mil for their quarterbacks, and the Niners are spending that money elsewhere.
And let's be real, we have 2 years before Purdy's going to get his money, and there's going to be some people leaving. So that's why the sense of urgency to win it this year, and next year is huge, because when Purdy gets paid, like there's going to be some people that are not going to be affordable. Just facts. That's the way the system is.
Luis, John Feliciano has played his tail off. He's been a great pickup. Absolutely.
And saying
Absolutely.
that year, I think me and you were both on that we were not really high on Burford. We wanted to give him a little look, and Feliciano came in, and he's just more physical, man. It's as simple as that. He's just more physical.
Yeah. Bang, bang. Crazy says we need a Debo trick play thrown to Ayuk. That's kind of along your lines, Los.
I love it. I love it. It's going to be there. That Detroit team is very, very overly aggressive. They will jump that, and it will be open. The out and up will be open, and a trick play will be open if they want it.
Hey, why don't we migrate to some Dubs talk, Los? Because I got to be honest, this Warriors team has been disappointing, and I've been a Warrior fan ever since I was a kid. But I got to say that we have been spoiled just by some phenomenal basketball play.
No doubt.
With this talent, and especially when we had KD, and it almost spoiled us. And watching this team play right now, it's just there's not the same flow offensively. There's not the same intensity defensively. They look a step slow. So I try to be very optimistic for the Warriors. I would never completely count out a team that has Steph Curry on it. That being said, Los, I feel like the trade deadline is approaching. Want to say it's like the first week of February here, like a couple weeks away. If the Niners want to contend, they're going to have to make a splash. I don't know who's out there. So maybe some of you in the chat have some ideas on some trade candidates. My guy I wanted to go after maybe was a Pascal Siakam. Um, so that being said, Los, I want to hear a couple things from you. One of them is, is this team a contender? Or do they need to do something at the deadline? But the other thing is Jonathan Kuminga. That's one guy I am not trading, Los.
Oh,
I'm not trading
please
Jonathan
don't.
Kuminga. He's been sensational these past two games. He had the 11 for 11 game last night. He was spectacular. He was the reason why the Warriors. I thought they were going to win that game last night against the Kings.
Man,
Just
Harrison
the end of
Barnes
that game
playing out
was.
of his ass, man. Could you have made a few more shots like that in Game 7? Just like one or two more? Damn, man. Where did that come from? Oh my God.
Supposedly, like Barnes and Draymond got some beef. Have you heard about that?
I always kind of thought that that was the case because Barnes was the first pick of the Warriors draft that year. Was it who was the big man that they picked? Was it Foyle?
I mean,
No.
yeah, Foyle was a while back. That was a while back.
Yeah, what am I thinking? No, they picked Draymond was a second round pick, and I think Draymond always thought
Oh,
that he was
Festus Ezeli. Was it Ezeli?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm tripping. Donald Foyle. Festus Ezeli. Yeah. I think Draymond always had a chip on his shoulder, like thinking that, yeah, I'm the second round pick. Harrison Barnes was the seventh overall pick, first round. I think he always thought he was better than Barnes. They probably went at it and practiced quite a bit. Barnes obviously, you know, is allowed to leave. Draymond stays here. So I think there is something there. I don't know if it's a beef, but it's definitely a little bit of a battle because I noticed Green helps a lot of people up, but when Barnes goes down, he walks right by him, man. So yeah, there's something there. I would still take Draymond all day. But as far as like the Warriors and what they need, it's an interesting question because it's like, are you making a trade to really try to win a championship this year? Like, would one big man or another score, would that really elevate them to the better teams in the league, or would you trade maybe a veteran or two and bring in maybe a young guy with a lot of upside to pair with Kaminga so we can set our future up for the next real Warrior team once Steph and Clay and Draymond leave. So it's an interesting dynamic. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to trade to win now? Because that's been the whole thing. We need to get Steph another title. We need to get Steph another title. I never liked that, honestly, because it's like if I'm Draymond or Clay, that's all you hear. We need to get Steph another title. And they're saying to themselves, like, hey, we helped build this too. Why not us? So I don't know. There's just been something off. The Warriors always have played with joy. They've always played supporting each other. And the whole Draymond and Poole fight and just everything that's gone on this year it's just been the karma is just the chemistry has just been off, and it shows, man. Steph's having to do a lot more, and quite frankly, they're getting older. It's just the way it is. Father Time doesn't lose to anybody. So, do you trade to try to get better for the future, or to try to win a championship now? What do you think the number one thing that they need is?
They need a two-way player. They need a two-way wing, kind of like a 3-and-D kind of player. That's what I'm looking at.
Their
So
defense is horrible right now,
they're
man.
a step slow. It's like the rotations are bad.
Yeah,
They got too many open shooters. They're collapsing on drivers, but you're leaving shooters open. Like not poor shooters.
wide.
You're leaving 35%, 40% three-point shooters open, which I mean, that should be a no-no. Low the truth says we need to trade Wiggins, let Kuminga take over. I'm not opposed to that. But Los, I got to be honest. I feel like I love Klay Thompson. I appreciate everything he's done. He's on an expiring deal. Sometimes those expiring contracts, Los, can
Yeah,
be attractive options because a
yeah.
team might want to move off a player who's got 2-3 years left on it, and maybe it's just not the right fit. so they want to move off it for that expiring deal. Clay, I know he's done a lot of good things.
Yeah.
Man, his shot selection just frustrates me. He's been playing a little. I know they had a little hiatus, R.I.P. Coach Decky, but he's been playing a little better over the last 2-3 weeks. But that being said, I
Boy,
don't
that
think
fan
Clay's
base.
the answer, man.
Remember how much they booed the owner when Monte Ellis was traded? Oh my God, if they traded. And that's the thing about Warrior fans. And to an extent, Niner and Warrior. Bay Area fans are very, very loyal to their players, especially their homegrown players. And if you win championships, multiple championships, oh my God. But I feel you. I mean, it's a business. And if you want to get better, you might have to move off of Clay and maybe even Clay and Wiggins, a couple veterans, and maybe get some youngsters in here. I don't know. They got to, the NBA is weird because you can't just trade like a 5th-round pick for this player like you can in football or baseball. Has got different kind but basketball is so weird because you got to have the salaries matched, and that makes it even more challenging. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they move off of Clay, they got to bring somebody back that and Wiggins, somebody that making a pretty good penny there. So I wouldn't be opposed to coming off of CP3 and Gary Payton too. I like Gary Payton, but damn, he gets hurt a lot. He gets hurt a lot. So
Yeah.
the dominoes are what they are, man, and they've fallen this way. It's a hell of a run, though. If this is the end, a hell of a run. I mean, we've seen some dynasties in the Bay Area, and that one is one of the best ones, for sure.
I love the Warriors run because
Yep.
growing up, the Warriors we were a joke. It was like every year I looked forward to the NBA draft. I'm looking at mock drafts. It's like we're only on game like number 40 of the season, and I'm already looking at NBA mock drafts because the Warriors are stinking, and we're gonna have a top 5 pick or a top 10 pick. So once you go from looking forward to the NBA draft to winning NBA championships, yeah, it was so gratifying. And only that, then you get the parties. You're meeting up with your buddies at the bar to go watch Game 7 of the NBA Finals. It led to a lot of really fun moments and good times.
Have you
Winning
made
these championships?
to Chase yet? Have you made it to Chase Center?
Yes. Only a couple times. Only twice.
How would you compare the vibe to Oracle?
One time we were in a box, so that I felt like that kind of concealed us away. I didn't really notice much of a difference, Los. I might be the wrong guy to ask, though. I'm locked in on the court. Sometimes I feel like maybe I get some tunnel vision where,
That's good.
I'm reacting and I'm not paying attention to everyone else's reactions.
That's
so I
fair.
thought it was pretty similar. Maybe I'll tell you what, the ticket prices are a little more expensive. That I could tell you.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you, man. Over on our channel, NorCal Sports Network, we did a poll, and it was like one team has to leave the Bay Area forever. It was Giants, 49ers, or Warriors. And the Niners definitely were not losing that as successful as they've been. So it was going to be between the Giants and the Warriors. And based upon what the Giants have been doing lately, they were the one to go. And I know there's a lot of baseball fans in the Bay, but I'm telling you, those Warriors, boy, there's a deep love for basketball in the Bay Area. And there's only been one team in the Bay Area, whereas football and baseball were split for so many years between Oakland and San Francisco. So, yeah, the Warriors are special to a lot of people, a lot of good fans, me being one of them that's seen some real bad basketball for a long time. I was at Game 3 when they played the Mavericks for We Believe. And let me tell you something. I'm saying this straight from the heart. Out of all the Bay Area events I've been to, that one was the most emotional and passionate. I saw people crying on the national anthem. They couldn't believe that their Warriors were in the playoffs on national TV for the whole country to see. And they ended up beating the Mavericks, and that's in that series, an 8 seed being a 1 seed. It was the most special game, sporting event, one of the top 3 I've ever been to. It was awesome, man. Words can't even describe it.
Yeah, I got some good memories from that. Watching that with some of I was in high school at that time for the We Believe, so watching it with some of my high school buddies, definitely some good memories. Hey, Los, while we stick along the basketball topic, I don't know if you know the Olympic player pool was released. These are supposedly players that are interested in playing in the upcoming Olympics here. So there's like 40 something players that are in this player pool, and only 12 of them can make Team USA, the Olympic roster. It was a tedious, difficult task. Steve Kerr is the coach of this Olympic team, and Steve, may or may not have called me up and said, "Hey, baller, man, I need your expertise. Who do you think should play on this Team USA Olympic roster?" And I said, "Steve, I know it's a tough duty to cut it down from whatever it is, 40 down to 12. Let me help you with that." So I made the cuts for Team USA. I'm going to put them up on the screen here. That being said, not all these players probably will end up, some of them might back out. It happens every year where some guys back out. That being said, I really do feel like Steph Curry really wants to play in this Olympics. He hasn't played in the Olympics yet. Kevin Durant, he's played in a few already. He always loves to put on that Team USA jersey. LeBron sounds like he's interested. I think LeBron, if he's healthy, he'll give it a go, kind of as maybe a last hurrah to Team USA. But so at the bottom, that's the player pool. Those were all the players. If someone watching wants to see who's in the Team USA player pool, that's it. You see my picks on the right side. I made some cuts and kind of sorted it out by positions, and we'll start off with the point guard position. I went Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, and then Tyrese Halliburton.
Love Halliburton.
Pacers point guard. He's been freaking awesome. The dude just keeps getting better and better. Actually, Halliburton was a late add to the roster. I initially left Halliburton off, and then looking at it, and I'll tell you who I had. Paulo Banchero. I don't know if you know much about Paulo Banchero, the Magic.
Oh, the Orlando Magic. Oh, that kid can play. Yeah,
he's freaking awesome. And so I was like, do I go Halliburton? Am I going to go with the guard? Am I going to go with another big wing? And then I thought, Steve Kerr's the head coach. He freaking hates big guys. So I said, let me just get him another small guy to work with. At least, someone who can shoot, someone who can pass. So I ended up adding that third point guard there. That rounds out the point guard shooting guards. I went Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Devon Mitchell. Man,
I'll tell you. So my feeling on this is, and tell me if you agree or not, is, man, it's tough to narrow it down. You said it was 12 was the roster maximum?
That I believe that's what. Okay. Yeah, I believe only 12 make the team. Yeah.
So for the veterans, for the guys that have played on Team USA before, and maybe they still enjoy playing it and doing it. Maybe they don't. Maybe like LeBron and Durant, they've done that. They've won their gold medals. Curry has not played on a Team USA. The point I'm trying to make is, like, some of these young guys that want to play for the first time, if they're being held off because a veteran is there just because of the name, don't get me wrong, LeBron and Durant are still playing at a dominant level. But like, I look at the list and I see a guy like Scotty Barnes. Like, that dude can play defense. That dude can do everything. He's a young cat. And what if he really wants to be on the team? But of course, Durant is a top player of all time. If Durant wants to play, Durant's going to play. Me, I would love Scotty Barnes on that team. Another one that jumps to mind is I would love Anthony Edwards on that team.
I know that's the one I expect to get the most flack about, because Anthony Edwards has been freaking awesome this year for the T-Wolves, and he's getting better and better. But it might be the Adam Sandler movie. I don't know if you saw the movie with Anthony Edwards.
The basketball movie?
Yeah, the basketball movie.
Where he's
the scout. Hustle. Adam, great movie. But Anthony Edwards is a villain in that movie. So I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of that bias is leaking into my mind because I did leave him off. But I expect to get flack for that.
You know, another young guy is De'Aaron Fox. I mean, hell of a talent. I mean,
there's so many good players that
there's no right answer and there's no wrong answer. I think your team is a monster, but I mean, just if you were asking my opinion, like I would have to ask them, like, LeBron, do you really want to play? I mean, because if like you kind of want to play, I got guys that really want to play.
Or Kawhi too. Like I got Kawhi on this team, but it's like Kawhi, we're not load managing in the Olympics.
Exactly. like I might, the three guys I mentioned, Scotty Barnes, Anthony Edwards, and De'Aaron Fox might, and don't hate me out there, Chad, but might replace Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, and LeBron James, three of the best players of all time. I mean, I'm just saying I want to see some young guys and some energy. And, those older guys have been there, done that. Curry hasn't. And that's why, Curry needs to experience what it's like to play for Team USA. I might even take Dame off that team because Dame is a veteran. Let me see who the other guard. Oh, SGA. I've loved his game for a long time.
Here's the thing, though, Los and Luis. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's Canadian.
Oh, he's going to play for Team Canada. Okay,
he's Canadian. So Luis, he's not ours. He's not ours. Yeah. And Team Canada, if everybody played for Team Canada, Los, I would put a wager on them just because the odds would be crazy. Again, I don't know if I told you my Shohei Ohtani bet that I made years ago. This was before Ohtani was really the Ohtani that we know, before he ever won an MVP. He was coming back from the elbow surgery, and like the MVP odds were crazy. And he was so low on the list. And I'm watching like spring training, and the swing looked so beautiful, and he was stroking balls out of the park. And I know he throws 97. He's got a nasty splitter. And in my mind, I was like, okay, if he can hit like I think he can hit, and he can pitch like I think he can pitch, that's the MVP, like hands down. So I ended up throwing down just like $50 on it, and it won me $2,000.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? So it's like that. It was just, and I'm like, shoot, why didn't I bet more?
Yeah, we always say that, right?
I was saying about that bet because if Team Canada actually had all of its players, and I'm going off the top of my head, it's like Jamal Murray, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, RJ Barrett, Kelly Olynyk, not Desmond Bain, Dylan Brooks, that guy who we hate, Dylan Brooks. Like they got some NBA, they got a full Andrew Wiggins. They could put together a really good team, and their odds would be pretty low. So that being said, hey Los, we got my boy Shardall backstage. I'm gonna hear his thoughts and just hear. Sometimes Shardall, I don't know what's on his mind, but let's bring him on and hear what he's got going on. Yo, Shardizzle, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I got you, Shardall. Hey, thanks for coming on.
Hey, what's up, baller? How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm feeling good. How's your Friday night been?
Hey, my Friday night has been really good.
Awesome. Hey, Shardall, big game coming up here. Niners-Lions, NFC Championship game. Do you have any thoughts about this matchup or anything you want to share?
As a 49er fan, the Lions and Niners game, I'm really scared because the Lions are a really great team. You can't sleep on that team. You know, that team can blow you out of the water if you give them a chance.
You're scared though,
No,
man.
I mean not. No, but Jared Goff. Sometimes Jared Goff's game doesn't look so good, but I don't know how he's gonna do against us against the Niners.
That's a good point. That's a
He
good
might he
point.
might throw for like I don't know like 400 yards or something.
Oh, no way. No way. If Jared Goff throws for 400 yards, then we're in some deep doo-doo.
No,
I want to keep him around like 250. Like that's manageable, but 400, that'd be a
Hey, Baller, who do you think is going to be your X factor for the 49ers to get the win over the Lions?
it's a great question, Chardall. You know, defensively, it's a guy who I've been pounding the table for on this show. It's Javon Hargrave. I think Javon Hargrave's going to have some big game-changing plays going up against that left guard. Offensively, I have a feeling you're talking more specifically offensively, and I'm going BA. I'm going BA, Chardall. We know Debo. He's going to play. And I saw him at the podium today, and he was scoffing at anyone like maybe I'm going to play? Maybe? No, I'm playing. Debo's going to be out there, but I'm expecting Brandon Ayuk to feast against this weak secondary of the Lions. So I'm going to go BA. Los, who do you got as like your X factor on offense? Who's gonna have the big game? I'm going BA.
I'm going to say that they're going to spend a lot of attention on Debo and Ayuk, and that Kittle's going to get free for some big plays over the middle, score a couple of touchdowns.
Hey, Baller, who's your X factor for the 49ers on defense?
I'm going to go Javon Hargrave. And if you're going to make me pick a second guy, I got to go with the all-pro Mooney Ward. The dude's been ultra sticky all season long. So Javon Hargrave, I think he's going to have at least one sack, maybe two, maybe a strip sack. Hargrave's going to make a big play. But, man, if you're going to make me pick another guy, I'm going Charvarius Ward because he's just been awesome, especially the second half of the year.
How many sacks do you think Nick Bosa is going to have against Detroit?
You know, I'm going – we had this convo a little bit ago. I'm going one. I think Bosa gets one. You know, Detroit's got a good O-line. You know, I know Bosa rushes from both sides, so he's going to see some Decker. He's going to see some Penei Sewell. Both are good players, but Bosa, I think he's even better than those guys, as good as they are. So I think
Baller,
Bosa's
who do
going to
you
get
got
one.
scoring the first touchdown of the game against the Lions?
You know, the easy answer is McCaffrey because we know about the touchdown streak that he had. McCaffrey, you know, he gets he'll get the goal line carries. So I'm going McCaffrey. Los, are you going elsewhere with first touchdown? Maybe start out. It sounds like he's trying to get some betting advice because I know first touchdown of the game is a highly bet prop. So I'm going McCaffrey.
I'm going with a sleeper and say Juwan Jennings gets the first touchdown.
That's a lot of that's plus big money on that one.
Nice little 12 or 15 to 1.
Yeah, I'm going with Christian McCaffrey scoring the first touchdown of the game. So it looks like me and Baller are on the same page here.
I got you,
we think the same way. That's what makes me and Baller so great because we always think alike. It's
no
like
doubt.
even Stevens, right?
I'll try to step up my game, Sharda.
You got to step your game up, Los. Come on, man, step your game up.
I used to get some Shia LaBeouf comps back in the day, just with my hair. To me, you're talking even Stevens, Shia LaBeouf. I had kind of had a little bit of a loose afro. I had a little Shia LaBeouf going on.
Hey, Baller, if Jared Goff balls out in this game, how many yards do you think he's going to throw for?
I mean, if he balls out, I'm hoping he doesn't ball out, Chardall. Like, don't get me wrong. I like me some Jared Goff, you know, Cal guy. I work in Berkeley, so it's like I root for some Cal Bears, but not on Sunday. So I don't think he's going to have a big game. I think he's going to probably I want him to be around like 250, but if I'm being honest, he'll probably get up probably like close to like if I had to bet, I'd probably say like 280, 290 on the yardage with maybe one tud. What about we didn't do score predictions, Los? How do you see this score playing out? Shout out to the Straight of the Out of the Bay crew on my Monday show. I'm sticking with it. I went 27-24 49ers. I think it's going to be a tight one.
Hey, Baller.
How do you see?
Hold on.
Oh, what's up?
I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers winning over the Detroit Lions 34-31 on a game-winning field goal by Jake Moody.
Damn, I like that. That's confidence in the rookie. Los, where are you at with your score prediction?
I got 33-23 Niners. I think it's going to be just like we talked earlier. They're up one score. Detroit's around midfield. They got a fourth down. Bosa comes in, gets that sack, gets that game-defining, game-changing play in the fourth quarter we talked about. Niners take it from midfield, put the finishing touchdown on the game. 33-23 Niners.
I think Daniel likes your score prediction a little better because I'm pretty sure you said mine was a heart attack game. What's up, Shardizzle?
Hey, Baller, I'm going to go with Brock Purdy going for 350 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks.
Ooh, big game.
That'd be freaking awesome. That would be awesome. Love it. And that'd probably go along. I imagine BA has a big game. If that's Purdy's stat line, then Ayuk's got to be going for at least like 150. Probably had a big touchdown play over the top. So
it's funny. We've talked a lot about everybody except Debo. Like maybe we're kind of thinking he's not quite 100%. But if he's close to it, he will make some big plays. Definitely. But
might be a little bit.
We haven't talked about it.
No, you're right. I'm thinking maybe it's a little decoy Samuel.
Could be. I was thinking that. I don't know if he's 100%, but he's gonna get someplace.
He's gonna get some touches. I don't know if they're gonna force feed him. Like I think that was the game plan last week. Sure to start out the game, get him a bubble, get him the rock a couple times early in the game.
You heard how defensive he got with that one reporter that said, "How do you protect your shoulder and be physical at the same time?" I ain't protecting nothing, man.
Hey, Baller.
Debo's so hard, man. He's so hard,
Debo at the podium, man. I wish I could talk to somebody like Debo talks to people.
Hey, Baller.
Was
as a Detroit Lions hater, I'm going with Jared Goff going for 200 yards, no touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
6 INT seems a little steep. Goff might be prone to making some boneheaded mistakes. Although 6 picks, I'll take the under on that one.
Chardell, you had Goff going from 400 yards to 6 picks, man. You're high-low, bro.
Hey, it's no problem being high-low, right?
Hey, nothing wrong with that. You got to cover both sides. You're going to be right on one of them. Hopefully the 6 picks.
Love it. Hey, I think we're about to wrap up here pretty soon. I appreciate the chat has been live all night long. Shout out to the chat, everyone watching. Make sure you hit that like.
As a 40.
Hey, Chardall. Hold on. Chardall. I got something I want to play.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Do you remember that, Chardall?
I remember that. That was dope.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Come on.
Man,
that's way back. That's way back.
Old school.
Hey, Baller.
We're going to need some new chonies after this game.
What's up?
Hey, Baller, when I heard that Steph Curry wasn't named an NBA All-Star starter, I was furious out of my mind. I'm like, how are you not going to give Steph Curry an All-Star, make him an All-Star starter? He's one of the greatest three-point shooters in the league right now. He's blowing it up right now in the Warriors.
Hey,
Like,
Charles
what the hell is
is
wrong with
back.
this crap? This is some BS crap that I've never heard about. Like, what the hell are these people doing, man? Like, what the hell? You ain't making a Steph Curry an NBA All-Star starter? Like, what the hell? He was an NBA All-Star starter last year, but not this year. I don't know who they got an NBA All-Star starter. Maybe some, I don't know who guy, some guy.
Well, they got some good players. They got, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's the guy who probably.
I'm a Steph Curry fan, and I was really looking forward to him being an NBA All-Star.
He'll play. He just is not going to start.
He is. He is.
Luka dropped 73.
But I agree with Shardall. Luka, I'm good with Luka. Luka. So I got to see the 73. I didn't watch any of the game. Later on tonight, I'll have to look at some of those Luka highlights. The 73 is freaking ridiculous.
People heard that Steph Curry wasn't named an NBA All-Star starter. I bet some people take a baseball bat and smash their TV screen to pieces.
No,
they were probably
that's
only if they're Cowboy fans.
Only if they're Cowboy fans.
They're known to do
only
that.
Cowboy fans. Only Cowboy fans do that, Shardall. No one's doing that. Steph, we're gonna pull for him. He's gonna have his own shooting competition against Sabrina Ionescu at NBA All-Star Weekend. That was just released. It's going to be some kind of 3-point shootout.
Hey, Ball,
What's good? What's good?
I was joking. That's not going to happen. I was just playing around with you. That's not going to happen. Nobody does that.
Shoot. My bad.
I was joking. I was joking with you. That's not realistic. That's only with Cowboys fans. Only Cowboy fans do that.
Sometimes I'm a little too literal. Sometimes
I was just playing around. I was just playing
too...
around with you. So sometimes you gotta know I play around with people sometimes.
Oh, you know what? That was a good one. Sorry, I didn't catch on to it. Hey, Shardall, I know because I've seen your cone phones and you got excellent questions. So we're about to wrap up here, but I want to give you two last questions. If you have any last ones, could be Niners, could be Warriors, but give me if you got final two questions.
How many games
send them our way.
How many games do you think the Golden State Warriors are going to win by the end of the season?
That's a great question. Let's see. Let's look at right now, Shardall and Los. The Golden State Warriors are not in the playoffs. They're not even in the play-in. They are the 12th seed in the Western Conference, which is, they're 2 games back of even making the play-in right now. They're 19-23. Obviously, that's below 500. So 82 games in the season, 40. If I were to say 40 wins, they would have to pick up the pace from here on out. 40 wins, they would get them like right around 500, just under 500. But their pace would have to be better than the start of the season. So I'm going to be optimistic in saying 40 wins. Does that even get them in the play-in? But you know what? I think they're going to make a move, though. So maybe that move, okay, make a move. Maybe that'll swing it a couple more wins. I'm going to go optimistic because I'm an optimistic guy. So I'll boost it to 42.
Hey, Baller, could we do a post?
I want to hear Los. I want to hear if Los wanted to add something to that. Are you taking higher or lower on 42 wins on the year right now, Los?
God, I hate to be pessimistic, but man, I think they're going to win about 39 games, be a little bit under 500, and not make the playoffs as it stands right now. They make a trade and improve that defense, then they got a better shot. But as constructed, as with everything that's going on, they just lost their coach. Draymond's been suspended. There's a lot going against them. A lot. But, we'll see. They pull a trade, and it's a good move, and it's interject some energy into the team, some rebounding, some defense, which they badly need. Then I like their chances better.
Hey, Baller, who do you got winning MVP? Christian McCaffrey or Brock Purdy?
Well, if I was a betting man, NFL MVP is probably going to be Lamar. That being said, man, this I'm rolling with the quarterback. MVP tends to be a quarterback award. Brock's been freaking awesome, so I'm going with Brock. I'm going Brock, but Lamar's probably going to win it.
Yeah, I would say Lamar's win it, but I say CMC. If it's going to be a Niner, he's been consistent every game. He's not had, I think, one bad game all year. He is the engine that runs this offense.
Hey, Baller. Can we do a post-game show on your channel just to bounce back from the audio issue we had last time, just to kind of forget about that and start brand new?
Hey, Shardizzle, we'll get something popping. We'll link up, get a post-game show going, talk some ball. Love having you on.
Because the reason why I want to have a post-game show with you is I want to bounce back from what happened the other day and kind of forget about that and just think that didn't happen and just start brand new, start fresh. Some
audio issues.
Like a brand new page,
last time on Chardell's channel, but
I'm saying forget about that. Like, don't focus on that. Why focus on the negative, right? Focus on the positive. That's what life is, right? Can we start brand new? Can we start fresh? Let's start fresh. Like a brand new page. Let's start fresh. Let's choose a game and let's do it.
Let's start brand new. We'll get it popping. Love talking ball with Chardell and Los. And before we get out of here,
make sure you like and subscribe.
Hey, Los, thank you guys.
I really love talking with you, man.
Thank you, brother. You as well.
You're the true OG of the NorCal Sports Network.
I appreciate that.
That's right. Hey,
he's
shout
the OG,
out
man.
NorCal.
If nobody calls Los the OG, then there's something wrong with them.
Much love, man. I appreciate that, Chardell.
Much love and respect to you.
Thank you. You as well.
Hey, much love and respect to you, Baller, as well. You do a really great job on your shows, man. Keep up the good work.
Hey, appreciate that, Chardell. We'll talk soon. All right, Shardizzle is out of here. Los, I appreciate you giving me an hour and 42 minutes of your time so we could break down this Niners-Lions matchup, NFC Championship. Man, tomorrow we're just going to be counting down the hours. Like, I already know I'm probably not going to sleep that well Saturday night. I'm going to have some butterflies. Can imagine, what some of these players might feel, but it's a good feeling.
If you wanted to go to the game today, you're going to really want to go to the game even more tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Kidding. I feel like I got to be there. So we'll see. I got my one eye on the ticket prices, and if the right one kind of comes, I might wait. I feel like last minute's usually when you get the best deal, Los. But I'm typically not a last minute guy because I like that security, knowing, okay, I got the tickets. I don't need. But if you're typically last minute is when you get the best deals, but you just don't want to miss out, right? You don't want to miss out. You don't want to wait and then miss out. And now I'm in Santa Clara, and I'm like, oh shit, where am I? I'm going to go to the Embassy Suites to watch this game.
Right. Hey, everybody in the chat, like and subscribe. My man E puts out great content. He's consistent. He can go group and do the new edition with his boys straight out of the Bay, or he can go Bobby Brown and go solo, man. He can do it both ways. And, he's consistent. He gives out great content. He's interactive with the chat, which a lot of content creators do not do. So like and subscribe, spread the word, let them know about Baller's channel, man, and support the man.
Hey, appreciate those kind words. Los, always love having you on. Shout out NorCal Sports Network. You guys holding it down over there. And hey, we'll talk soon, all right? I'm gonna hit you up after this game, and then we'll get something popping later on down the road, hopefully between the championship and the Super Bowl.
No doubt, man. Always good collaborating with you, my friend.
Take it easy. Catch y'all next time.